I am currently at Lebanon Hills Regional Park, enjoying the weather and actually composing, because this and other places in nature is where I kind of tend to go to get my thoughts together and focused. I really find that being in a space helps me plan a space, or plan an oral space, especially since the space here is actually quite filled with sounds. My musical guilty pleasure would probably have to be 90s pop. Spice Girls are a particular favorite. I think that would have to be Bjork. She is an absolutely incredible artist that seems to transcend all genres, so it feels like a good choice. I think that would have to be a pretty indulgent affair. I think instead of doing an evening type thing, I'd love to do a festival style. Something that allowed me to play piano, maybe conduct a few works, and then jam out on guitar. So, let's see, start off with some Bach and Chopin, and maybe a few of my own piano works. Transition into conducting some pieces by Henri Dutilleux, and again, maybe one of my own. Then, sort of for the evening portion, do a jam session with the Bad Plus and maybe Joshua Redman. Just throw myself in there on guitar as the most incompetent musician on the stage. And then finally end with a kind of dance party with Daft Punk, and then have me play an occasional guitar solo or something. I think that'd be pretty great. The concert I described would actually be pretty high up there in terms of my perfect days. Other than that, honestly, anything that involves friends and nature and good food is a pretty good day to me. Biggest pet peeve. Unanswered emails and people who don't answer emails. I'm looking at you, basically everyone ever. Scotch. Yeah, Scotch and trashy TV. The thing that excites me most about this project is the fact that it's sort of built from the ground up as part of one whole uncompromised vision. I get to work with people who I admire greatly. I get to have a premiere in the city I love, and I get to write a piece that's actually quite meaningful for me, which I'll probably dive into on the website a little bit more, but for now I'll just leave it at that. You are absolutely brilliant. I think what made me decide in music as a career is, well, I suppose it wasn't a decision so much as a lack of options. I actually really tried not to be a musician throughout my college days, because sort of I begrudgingly went to college having wanted to be a guitarist. But yeah, in college I was like, you know what, I'll give not being a musician a try, and it just it didn't work out. No matter what I did, I always came back to the music, so here I am. As a kid, I typically got into trouble, but not frequently, for kind of getting in scuffles. I never started anything, but if kids picked on me, I was, eventually not shy about reacting. Favorite sight? Nature or a sunrise? Or a sunrise in a beautiful natural setting. There's just something majestic about it. You know it's going to happen, but it's still just tremendous. Sound, that would have to be night. That sort of combination of silence and stillness, maybe some crickets, and then various sounds off in the distance. There's something about that I found really profoundly beautiful. Smell. Probably petrichor. Taste. Oh man, a good curry would probably take the cake there. Indian food is my absolute favorite, so a well-done curry is basically impossible to beat as far as I'm concerned. I think that would probably have to be being someone who is uncompromising. And by that I mean utterly committed to a vision and willing to follow it to the end. That said, being uncompromising, but at the same time being kind. So never pursuing that sort of at the expense of people or of kindness. So committed but kind. That'd be great. If I could sum up my musical style in 3 words, that would probably have to be shifting sound perspectives, both as separate words and as a sentence. If I weren't a composer, I love to do something that gets me out in nature. So park ranger, also ultramarathon runner, because I really love running and really love nature. So that seems like a slightly masochistic but wonderful career. Yeah, I mean, does 3 a.m. count as the morning? That maybe makes me a morning person, but I guess I see 3 a.m. sort of from the previous day, that's not when I start the day.